Today I'm pleased to welcome Sónia, body intelligence and emotional hacking teacher. This time, Sónia, throughout this conversation together, is sharing with us her wisdom on how you can start to nurture and master your emotional intelligence. This talk completes her previous videos where she provided us with amazing techniques and breathwork to introduce in your daily routine. Here's Sónia. Hi Sónia, welcome back.
Hello, Anne. Hello, everyone.
I'm very happy to have you today, but also be able to have this chat with you. So let's say I'm going to ask you a few questions and you can just tell you your wisdom on this subject and share your best advice to the women that are watching us.
Thank you. Well, I am passionate about emotions. I think that's my universe. So I'm more than happy just to share my experience, my day-to-day experience with that, with me, that I do with me, of course, and with my students.
Amazing, amazing. I know you're going to give us a lot of information that is very, very beneficial. So tell me, Sónia, how would you define emotions? And for somebody that has never stopped and thought about their emotions and how they can affect them on a daily basis?
I think we can see emotions in different perspectives. We can see emotions in terms of behavior. So some people put them high and some others have afraid of them. Like we have a certain fear when we speak about emotions. I think because we grow like this, our culture never put the importance in emotions. But if we see the word, and I like to always tell this, emotions, it's energy in motion. So if we think that we are made of energy, it's through the emotions that we put the energy in movement in our body. It's like the response, the sign, the stimulation to all our inner universe.
Amazing. And so why are they so important?
First of all, they are itself the expression, the truth expression about of our inner universe. Our mind can be easily triggered by our ego, by our culture, depending the environment we are, depending what we are doing. But I mean, the emotions, they can tell, if we know how to manage, they can really tell how we feel. They are like our trigger. And through them, we can conquer things. It's imagine living a life without emotions. That I'm not speaking just about feeling passion for our job, for what we do, but they are really what make our life different from the rest of the living forms. It's what it colors our life. Simply speaking, we never learn how to deal with them, and since we born, of course, there's a prejudice against emotions, and that's what I think that's what we need to really start to put the importance on them, not just ourselves, but especially if we deal with the children, so they can start to really nourishing and give the right importance about how they feel. Because exactly nowadays, actually, people already spoke about that, because how they project in itself in our body. Good emotions, like good health, is good life. It's color life. I can speak about that for a long time, so you just need to tell me, okay, let's move forward.
No, that's amazing. And tell me, when we speak about nurturing for somebody that is starting, or mastering for somebody that already knows a bit about that, how important it is in your view to do that, to start doing that?
Yeah. First of all, is stop judging. The same way that we judge stress, as a bad thing, or the same as we judge anything that happens in our life as bad or good, is stop judging. There's no such thing as good emotions and bad emotions. Of course, there's some of that are higher, some make us lower. But the thing is that when we judge things, we tend to put them in boxes, like this is not good for me. And things is not that it can seem simple, but actually when we repress something, we put them more importance on that. So the secret, which is not secret, I mean, is to manage them. There's a really nice, is don't repress, but learn how to manage. And if you see the emotion like energy in movement, is knowing that they are here. Imagine, like, I like to create this analogy, like the ocean. Okay, some days we are like a calm water river, some other days we are not, and that's okay. We know that when we feel some emotion that are stronger, we know that it will come and go, exactly like the wave. And maybe then it comes, of course, the self-knowledge process that we will learn, maybe to don't take a reaction, maybe to don't take a decision, and just let it pass. It's as simple as that. There's a story. I mean, yeah, we can tell a story. When I can ask you, if you put gunpowder on your hand, and if you put fire on it, what do you think will happen?
It's going to explode.
Well, most of people think, but actually it will make something like
okay.
Because gunpowder, it explodes in a gun because it's compressed.
Okay.
So the same as the is the emotion. So the gun works because the gunpowder is completely compressed in a bullet.
With a full of stress, right?
Exactly. Don't try it home. You don't have. You just can Google it and see.
Just can. We'll trust Sónia on this one.
So the gunpowder doesn't have any power to explode if it is not, unless it's compressed. So it's the same as
it needs the environment to.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
So don't repress. Learn how to deal with it.
Really cool.
And repressing is taking also to take the importance to that, right? Yeah. Sorry.
No, all good. You're telling me, so you're giving us this tip that, okay, we shouldn't repress, we shouldn't create that environment, that stress environment that will make things explode, right? So how would you recommend somebody to start doing so, like start to nurture, start to master their emotional intelligence? What's your best tip on what we can do?
If I can say a tip, is self-acknowledgement. Because once we know ourselves, we have power. It's as simple as that. Self-acknowledgement is power. In terms of tips, of course, I could say breathing, I could say give some time, but each person will have their tip, and that's where it comes the self-acknowledgement process, because you learn by yourself, by your experience, by how yourself, your inner self works, so you can deal with that. Imagine while you know yourself, it's like you have your map, your internal map, as an algorithm, as an operational system. So okay, of course, this comes with experience, but technical speaking, breathing. If I could give you only one tip, stop everything and breathe. Actually, you don't have to stop everything, because you can do the breathing while you walk, for example. If your thing is go for a walk, you can do a simple breathing exercise while you walk. But it's to interfere on your breathing, because through your breathing, you really change automatically your pattern inside. It's like this.
And tell us, like somebody is hearing you right now and just asking themselves, okay, Sonia, give me like one exercise, one very simple exercise I can start to do right now to just focus on my breathing while I walk or while I cook or while I do something.
Okay, one thing that is good, because usually people, when they think about breathing, and especially for those who are not into, don't do nothing and or don't want to do meditation, you don't have to. You can, for example, go for a walk. And first of all, you start to give rhythm to your breathing. The thing is that when we start to manipulate our breathing, we start to interfere even in our heart rate. So imagine, you start to give a rhythm. When you give one step, you're breathing, using just your nostrils, using your abdomen, like this, like a balloon. You breathe in, you expand your abdomen outward. When you breathe out, you contract your tummy inward. So you give one step, you're breathing with the nostrils, abdomen outward. You give another step, you exhale, contract your tummy inward. Of course, then you need to give really slow steps. So let's take it, then start to do like this. You breathe in while you give 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not seconds, it's your steps. And while you give the 4 steps, you breathe in through the nostrils, expand your abdomen outward. Then you give more 4 steps. Exhale through the nostrils, contract your tummy inward. That's it. If then, imagine you are not with a lot of anxiety, then you will start to put more importance when you breathe out, because then when you can really shut down and start to switch off all the mechanisms that leave your body in stress, in emergency mode. For example, you're breathing in 4, you breathe out in 6, or you breathe out in 8. So you give 4 steps, inhaling, then plus you give more 6 or 8 steps, breathing out. And actually, you should do that even if you're not stressed. I mean, only 10 minutes daily is what your body needs to balance your emotions, because this is not just when you're breathing. This interferes and it stays and still promoting difference on your body long time after the technique.
Really good. And it seems very easy when you explain that.
I use more and more, and I think I'm sure this is not just me saying, as more you study something, more you know that, first of all, that you don't know too much. There's more to know, but also that the simple is the best, right? And that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Coming back to the simple is the best thing. And Sonia, I have another question, which is, some people are listening to you and hearing about that for the first time, and what you've explained show us exactly how we can start. My question is, for somebody that knows already a bit about meditation, have tried, know about mindfulness, have tried as well, but are struggling, like they're not managing to make it a daily habit or to really feel that soothing inside of them because they do that practice. What would you recommend to them?
The same, keep it simple. First of all, is remove everything you've heard about meditation, like something like, oh, I already meditate, I will never be able to meditate. Meditation is as simple as when we get into a stage that our brain waves just stop. Imagine as we have our physical body, our mental body, emotional body, and then we have our intuition. So basically, we all have intuition, right? At least we have some intuitional acknowledgement. We know because we know. And so the meditation techniques are to start to have more of this intuitional process and to access more all this wisdom, which is basically something that we already are, but we need to get in touch again, okay? But before we get to the intuition, we need to stop first our mind. The same process that we do when, for example, we need to use our mind, but our body is in movement. Imagine if you need to solve something that requires a lot of mental energy. Imagine solving a maths problem while you're running. You need to stop your body, and then your mind will be solving that. So it's the same with the intuition. You need first to stop your mind in order to work your intuition. It's like training your brain, okay? See, as training your muscles, you train your brain to be more intuitional. So meditation is as simple as that. You need to stop your mind in order to build up a stronger intuitional body. And how we do that? We can't simply clear our mind at the beginning. That's, I don't like the word impossible, but let's say our mind feeds with thoughts, like the same way that we feed our body with nutrients, our mind needs thoughts. The thing is that we start to train our mind to think in just one thing. That there's thousands of meditation techniques, but the ones I think each person should do is the ones they feel connected to. And you can simply imagine, think about the image of a sun, the sunset. So you start to re-educate your mind to think in just one thing. That's it, without analyzing. Basically, it's to revert the process of your mind of thinking a lot of things to start to thinking one thing, one single thing. Is a re-education process, because some things are very natural for us, and mindfulness is very natural for us. If you see a child, it does that naturally. When he is doing something, he's there fully present. But the same, as we grow, of course, we stop probably being less us and being more the external environment. So I like to say that sometimes it's a redemption thing and going back to our roots.
Amazing. Yeah, simplification. Thank you. And Sonia, just one last question, because I know this is so important, but I want people to really embody and understand that. Why is everything you've just said to us, nurturing and mastering our emotional intelligence, so important in terms of fertility?
Well, I'm not a specialist like you, okay, in fertility. What I can say on my experience is that when we are in stress mode, our body gets like emergency mode. So only the main functions of our body will work. And if we just need to tell our brain that we are not in emergency mode, basically, so we can so basically is to have that balance in our nervous system. So all the processes in our body can work and functionally perfect. It's not just the fertility in itself, but the digestion, for example. That's why nowadays so many people suffer from digestion, because if your body understands that you are in stress, probably you will put the blood circulation, put everything so you can survive, because that's how your body understands, how your brain understands. And going back to the brain, we can see us like when we were living in the caves. Our brain didn't develop that much since there. So imagine, when we were there, everything was natural. So probably we were relaxed most of the day, and maybe we'll have like 2 stress points at the day when we were fighting for food. But now we are always, because we have so much things, we have bills to pay, we have this, we have. So it's like we don't allow our body to shut, and we are always like this. And that's why all these, because our body, it's very smart, but we need to have the balance. And once we know the balance, then our body will do the rest. But some of this process really needs some help of us, so our body can cope and function on their way.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sónia, for being here today and sharing with us so much information.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.